It's good to be back. Thank you very much for your patience over the past couple months since I've moved into this new apartment. I hope you've had a good May, you had a good June, and July is going well for you so far as well. Thought to make this video, the new setup. Finally got things mostly finalized today in this room at least until we get some other furniture sorted out. Got the desk, computer, couple lights to brighten up this room a bit. Otherwise it was looking pretty dark before. And as you notice, I've got some color behind me as well. Computer's on, got these nice RGB lights on the side here. You might be able to see it just in the corner. And then behind the kind of desktop at the back here as well. And I still need to learn how to kind of operate the lighting, but hopefully it looks visually quite nice on your end and I'm not too dark and everything else isn't too bright. It's a work in progress. Now that I have this more solidified setup, moving forward, I may not be making as many videos outside as I used to in the past. When I wake up in the morning, I went for those walks near the gardens and I'll just have a nice chat while I'm on those walks in the morning. Because the apartment I'm in now isn't as close to the gardens as I used to be. So it doesn't make as much sense to go there anymore. And I've got this space here I might as well make the most of anyway. Because at our previous apartment, I didn't have this little room where I can kind of optimize it, set it up for myself, where I've got a nice go-to place that I can kind of call my own and then set up these videos for you guys. So that's the plan. Now, there are a few reasons as to why I've been pretty inactive lately. I think the biggest factor was a few issues that we came across when we moved into this new apartment. And the property management, they are slowly fixing them, but they're not resolved yet. There were three main issues. So the first one, old furniture. So two of pretty much the main furniture is the bed and the sofa. They had to remove it because I said that they're not good. They're pretty much broken, extremely old, and just not good quality. So the bed, they're looking into it. And there was actually a desk, sorry. It was mainly the desk and the sofa. So they removed that and now I have no sofa. They replaced the desk, which is good for my girlfriend. Second, the cleanliness of the apartment when we moved in wasn't very good at all. So I had to request them to send the cleaner again. Even after they sent the cleaner, look, it was a bit better, but it wasn't really to standard. So I was pretty dissatisfied with the condition report and the quality of the cleanliness of the apartment when we moved in, because it was pretty disgusting. And following off the back of that, because it wasn't very clean and no one lived in this apartment for a little while, I expect, there was a pest infestation as well that obviously we didn't know before we moved in here, but there has been a pretty big carpet moth infestation. Now, of course, the moths, they are what they are, pretty disgusting anyway. But the biggest problem is when those moths lay their eggs, they lay it in the carpet. In the name carpet moth, of course, they lay hundreds of these eggs and then they all hatch and then they start eating the carpet and they're like maggots, which is very disgusting and obviously not something you want to come across after you've just moved into a new apartment. So since I've moved in here, I've killed probably around 100 of these little larvae things that are pretty just squirming around, which is pretty disgusting. And we've spotted some of the eggs and look, we've done what we can to kind of resolve it, but it's still pretty a deep infestation. So we had to get them to call in pest control. So pest control finally came yesterday. So we've just got to wait to let the results of that settle in over the next, month. Because they sprayed the carpets with some sort of chemical. So hopefully it does the job. Apart from that, aside from the apartment, two other health concerns, maybe not concerns, just issues I've had that did affect my mental state recently was, of course, that initial injury I mentioned a little while ago, where this year it got significantly worse. My upper back, it's kind of like bottom left rotator cuff, shoulder blade, that area. There's an issue there. And even though the physio said that it's looking like it's getting better, sometimes it doesn't feel like it's getting better. And it's definitely affected my mentality and commitment towards going to the gym, because I'm not only not as strong as I used to be, but I'm also worried that I'll make it worse. So I haven't been as committed to the regular gym sessions as I used to be. Second, now this one's a bit different. Since I was younger, I've had a present kind of condition, and I didn't know what caused it. And easiest way for me to explain it is like tremors and shakes. So you may know someone, maybe, usually they're a bit older, but you may know some people where they've got twitches or they've got tics, and they've got their movements maybe in their hands or on their neck, and they kind of shake a little bit. Or sometimes if you're focusing, you're trying to do something, you sometimes see it in, for example, older people, maybe like along the lines of Parkinson's, where you're trying to drink soup and then the hand shakes and then it all just spills everywhere. Or you're trying to do something with your fingers, but then it starts kind of just shaking and you can't really stop it. I have a similar issue, and it started in like early high school when I was mainly playing video games, but I don't think it's the video games that caused it, because it's in multiple parts of my body. It's not just in my hands from playing on the computer or Xbox or anything like that. Biggest one is in my left hand. It does affect my right hand as well, but I don't notice it as much. But for my left hand, if I'm doing something very kind of minute and detailed and I'm trying to stay focused on it, or I'm in maybe not in a situation where I feel nervous in, but if I'm in a situation where something's, maybe I'm not quite used to it, or I know people are watching me, especially my left hand and mainly like the bottom three fingers, they like start like shaking like this, and I can't stop it. So if I'm trying to drink something with my hand or use like a fork or spoon or something, by the time it sometimes gets to my mouth, like it shakes so much and then I've got nothing on the spoon. So for example, when I eat like stuff like ramen now, I have to use my hand to like get the ramen, the soup, but then I have to use my other hand to support it. Because if I don't use my other hand to support it, then it's just going to go crazy. And it sucks when you have a problem like that, because I finally had the money and I had the time, and I made the appointment to see a specialist, a neurologist, to look into that kind of condition and try to figure out what the issue was. Because it's really been affecting my daily life for a very long time now. And it does feel like it's getting worse. It doesn't feel like it's getting better. I notice it at work, I notice it day to day. Sometimes other people mention it as well, which has made me pretty self-conscious, because obviously I don't have the problem. But if sometimes it's so bad that the people around me can see it as well, it's not really a nice feeling. But yeah, I saw the neurologist, and it wasn't the answer I was hoping for. She, from the information she could gather at least, told me that it's pretty much just something that some people are born with. A lot of people actually have this normal problem, just some people have it stronger than others. She said it's very common. Most people have it, except some people, have it much stronger than other people. She was like, if you look around you, if you're going on a walk, if you're on the train, if you're on the bus, and you just look at people, you might notice some people have a small movement, a small tick maybe in their neck, in their head, in their hands, whatever. These tremors, and some people, unluckily, they just have it worse off than others. So being told that it was something that I was pretty much just born with, and I just have to suck it up, because there's nothing I can do to fix it. She was like, oh yeah, if you get better sleep, it might reduce the symptoms a little bit. But the only thing you can really do is take these drugs and it will reduce the severity of the shakes by about 30%. But then you've got all these other side effects as well. I don't want to take these drugs just to reduce the severity of the shakes by about 30%, especially when it has all those side effects, because it's not really addressing the root cause, is it? Yeah, so it sucks that I don't have something I can do better at. I don't have like a root cause that I can kind of fix, which is annoying. And I know I'm making this sound like a big deal, because there's obviously people that have much bigger problems, physically out there than I do. But it's been, I don't know, I think I was just a bit upset that it wasn't something I can actually fix. So I just have to suck it up for the rest of my life. And the same problem, sometimes it affects my neck as well. So my neck, it mainly kind of twitches and pulls sometimes to the left. Also in these environments where I feel a bit of pressure, or just socially if there's a lot of people around, or socially if it's a place I haven't really been before. Like even if it's in like the elevator, if I'm coming home from the lift and there's like 6 people in the lift and we're just standing still, I will feel my neck kind of like shaking, which is annoying, and then I get pretty self-conscious of it as well. But it is what it is. Like, I thought I'd just share that with you guys to tell you why, all these other things that have been happening that has mentally affected me lately quite a bit. I'm not as kind of robust and whatever as I used to be. So I'm just trying to fix that for myself at the moment. Still going to work. Getting into reading again. I have to pick that back up. Slowly getting back into the gym. I've tried to incorporate more stretches now. Not only just for my general health and well-being, but my mobility, and hopefully to address some of the issues that I'm having in my, my upper back. It'll be nice to fix that a bit. So I start feeling a bit more like myself again, a bit more comfortable, a bit more free and stronger. So this is the first video of me coming back saying hello. Hope it wasn't a complete bore fest, but I just wanted to share what I've been going through with you guys. Maybe some of you can relate. Maybe you've gone through something similar yourself. But I'm human too. So I'm going to come back, make more of these videos. I'll make the next one soon. Don't worry, you won't have to wait another 2 months. But thank you very much for your patience. I hope you've been well. I hope you have a nice night. And I'll see you again very, very soon. Peace.